Good morning, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I usually just talk about um, things that are important to me and things that might be important to you. So, I like to just talk about some stuff over coffee. And so, one of the things I wanted to talk about today was experiences that we go through. Sometimes that at first we don't really understand it, and then when you turn around and look at it in hindsight, sometimes kind of things all come together. Y'all might know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna try to make this short because I get long-winded about things sometimes. Basically, so I went to college for medical billing and coding. I was very good. I graduated with high honors. I had a 3.8 GPA, and regardless to say, I went and I was looking for jobs in that area. It turns out that medical facilities really want you to have like 2 to 5 years experience in that kind of thing, because you're handling their money. They want to know that you can do it and all of that. So regardless to say, it was really difficult to find a job in that position at first. I eventually found a job in an optometrist office, where I originally went in there trying to get a job in the billing office, and she says, well, I'm not hiring for somebody in that position, but I need somebody for front desk. So if you want to work front desk, maybe at some point, move you back to the billing office and get somebody for the front desk. I was like, okay, that works. Starting from the bottom, work your way up kind of thing. And so I worked there for like 3 or 4 years, and it wasn't, actually they ended up hiring somebody for the billing office, and I just kind of, at that point, I was like, okay, it might be time for me to try to move on a little bit, see what else is out there. And I ended up getting hired to work for a chiropractor's office, working accounts payable, which is in the billing office. So I was working on, getting the payments from patients, processing the payments from insurance companies, and I had to put the codes in and all of that. So I was making more money, doing what I wanted to do to begin with, and the only downfall was that it was like an hour's drive to get to the job site, which I felt like was okay enough. It was okay to do that because I was building experience so that I could further my career. Anyways, this was kind of I don't know, I wasn't used to being around a place that wanted to tell you what you could and could not eat, what you could and could not drink, and all of this. Like, I couldn't afford, going to Starbucks every day. I don't even really like Starbucks. There's like 2 things on the food menu that I will eat from Starbucks. So, regardless to say, I was not in a Starbucks kind of menu. I was more along the lines of dollar menu items. So, I had to hide what I was having for lunch. Like, I would have to eat at McDonald's if I was having McDonald's, and I could not walk back in with the rest of my beverage. I could not walk in with McDonald's cup. It only happened one time, but I was like, looked on like I was, I don't know. It made me feel like I was being looked down upon. But anyways, I worked there for like 3 months, and they said they were going to let me go. Even though I was doing a really good job and everything, they were concerned about my health. So that was so weird to me. Is that weird to you? But you really can argue with that. And so, so I, again, was looking for a job. I found a job working the front desk again for a dermatologist. And so I ended up working there for quite a while. Everything was going great. Well, at one point, didn't like do anything. A lot of people like use their doctor's offices for things all the time and all that. I didn't. Well, I kept like itching on my lower back in the same area. And I was like, man, I got a rash or something. And like, I kept trying to ignore it. Hey, baby. And regardless to say, I ended up asking them to look at it, and the doctor was like, I basically just asked her to look at it and like give me some rash cream or something. So anyways, she looked at it and she goes, yeah, we should do a biopsy. And I was like, okay, like, oh, what kind of rash could this be? Just give me some cream. Well, it came back that I had melanoma. It's the worst kind of skin cancer you can have. And a lot of people hear skin cancer and they're like, skin cancer. Right? Well, cancer is cancer. And melanoma was not the kind of skin cancer you wanted to have. So the day the results came back, I worked most of the day, and then I ended up having to leave the office in Denton and drive to the main office, which was in Frisco. And that day, immediately, the main doctor took the melanoma out. There is a scar now on my back that's about this long, and I think they had to go like 3 or 4 inches deep, because they had to make sure they got all of the cancer out. And you're probably thinking, well, that must have been a really big spot. No, it was the size of a pencil eraser. And so, you know, looking back on that, it, like, almost not too long after, bless you, this is my bird. Hi, Bear. Hi. He's a good bird. Anyways, it wasn't too long after all that happened that it kind of became clear that, like, all of that happened for a reason. Me moving on from the optometrist, where I had a pretty stable job. I had a stable job, but I decided to look for another job. I got one at the chiropractor's, and for what seemed like no reason to me, was let go and ended up working in a dermatology office right when it was really important for me to go ahead and have that removed. So the if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I'm a Christian. That's not a dirty word. Everybody else gets to be who they are. I am a Christian. So I am not an apologetic Christian. I'm proud of it. But regardless, moving right along, you know, there's a verse in the Bible where it says that God makes all things work for the good. You know, that God makes things work in such a way that God's helping us out. And so I honestly, I don't believe, I know that God had his hands in that all the way through it, because I don't know, but that is what I was thinking about sharing with you guys today. Once again, you know how coffee cups get. You know, I was just, I just figured that's what I would talk to you guys about today. There's so much more to talk about, you know, and I think it's important to start your day on a positive note. So if you're going through a difficult decision or a change in your life right now, just know that God will work things for your good, you know, as a child of God. You know, it's really important that we never forget whose we are. Not who we are, but whose we are. Just weird how things work out sometimes. So, you know, just think about that today. And anytime you're going through a situation like that, you know, don't give up. you know, I hope you keep believing. Don't give up on God, because He doesn't give up on you. God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good.